Watch me get across the map in like 5 seconds. Dude, that is a grab. This killer is so fucking busted.
Yeah, I try to find another killer that can do that quickly and get that free of a hit. What's up, players? It's Weska, and today I think it's finally time to talk about Kaneki. Um, and I must say, it feels really good to have been so right, but then for me to be so right, Kaneki has to be so insanely fucking broken. And that scares me because one, everybody loves this killer. Everybody loves to play this killer. I wouldn't say people love to play against him, but a lot of people love to play this killer. And how strong he is absolutely absurd to the point where I'm scared what changes they are going to make. And so I was going to wait to make this video, but I think I need to put it out there. If you have not watched my PTB video about Kaneki, it's a little bit of a snooze fest. I recorded it at like 2 a.m., so I apologize. Um, but even then, I was saying 3 weeks ago, I was saying that Kaneki is like nurse levels of competition. Like he is that good. And lo and behold, he comes to live servers. They make this slide out on base kit or the apron, and he is that good. Um, like I said, it feels good to be so right about something, but being right about something like this has implications if you understand what I'm saying. So honestly, let's get right into it. I think the one balance change that I would like to see that I think will make him so much more tolerable to play against is reducing the countdown timer to a flat 15 seconds. That is the only thing that I think behavior should do. Give it a couple weeks, see how he feels, see how he plays, his numbers, whatever, and then go on to these next changes that I am suggesting. So, as I said, a little rundown on how his power works. So, the free hit that you get will put a mark on a survivor, and as long as they are in deep wounds, that mark will stay active. Once they either mend or they're put into the dying state, then the countdown will begin. I think right now it's about 40 to 45 seconds, it feels like. And that gives Kaneki his enraged mode, which essentially gives him a third leap, which makes him incredibly fucking strong, right? And I like to think about this countdown similar to Overdrive with Billy. Of course, it's completely two different powers, but Overdrive is something that you get about a quarter, a fifth to a quarter of the game. And with Kaneki, you're like enraged the entire time. My first impression video, that I posted a couple days ago, I was enraged the entire time. That 10-minute video, that 10-minute game, I don't think I came out of enraged one time. So definitely the countdown should be a flat 15 seconds. I think you should keep the add-on that increases the countdown by 15 seconds. So that way, if this is a worry for you, I think that should be there. If possible, I know there's been a lot of talk about making Kaneki a skill shot, and from what behavior is saying, they absolutely cannot do that because it feels really bad to play. And that's the thing, is that you want to keep this killer enjoyable because like we already have so much hype around Kaneki that if they were to nerf him like 2 3 weeks after release, there would be so much uproar, and you do not want to. If I am behavior, I do not want to rock the boat right before FNAF comes out. I do not want to get people upset, right? So If possible, I would have the grab range. Right now it feels about like 16 to 18 meters. There's an add-on that adds like another 2 meters. Have it. Whatever it is, keep the grapple distance, but the CC grab, like the command grab, have that. It is so fucking far. I will include a clip right here. This is with the extra range add-on, and that wasn't even max range. Like, it is stupid how easy of a first hit he gets. And because he gets that first hit, then the follow-up hit becomes even easier. It it is it is absurd how strong this killer is. And with that being said, I also think they should reduce the range over obstacles of that command grab. It is so easy to hit somebody over a loop. Like, I you're essentially just playing with one health state against this killer. Like, and that's the thing, is that there's no point in healing, but he gets on top of, like, even if he has a 40-meter tear radius, one leap covers 30, 40 meters. Like, he's on top of you in like a second. There's no time to react. It's just, I'm telling you, this is just Nurse 2.0 that like doesn't phase through walls. And he's just incredibly busted outside of the fact that like he can't phase through walls. I will say he's very fun. Um, I think I think how strong this killer is will definitely lead to sweatier playstyles. Right now, the only apparent counterplay is using Made for this. And so a lot of people are going to pair Wiglif with that in order to counter slugging. And so I think we're going to see a lot more tunneling in the next few weeks because of how many anti-slugging perks people are going to bring. Yeah, I think this killer is really going to shake up the meta, which, I mean, it's been pretty stagnant the last couple months, so hopefully it goes somewhere good. But my last balance change that I am suggesting is to reduce the enraged vault speed. Right now, it feels about like a 20% buff to just regular vaults, and then if you're enraged and you latch onto a survivor and it forces you to vault, it literally feels like Wraith, like double add-on Wraith vault speed. Like, if you know what I'm talking about, the action speed. Like, it feels that fast. Like, I was watching Otz's video that he posted today, or yesterday technically, because it's coming out day after, but like, he was talking about how fast this vault is. It's just like, he's talking about how Wesker, like, it's on Wesker's level. Wesker can't do this shit. Dude, Wesker's vault is like a second long. This is like barely half a second. It's like, it's genuinely like Houndmaster's speed of vaulting. And he also holds you in place. So like, he latches when you're, so you use your first leap in order to latch onto the survivor. And that latch will hold the survivor in place while you are vaulting at like Mach 10. There's no counterplay. It feels like there is no counterplay to this killer. If you are a regular around here and you have watched my tier list video, which I highly recommend, I would honestly give Kaneki a 48.1, which is just below Wesker. And like, I honestly think he could like get higher. I have his skill floor at a 5, and I could honestly raise that to a 6. Like, this killer is just so incredibly strong and so easy to pick up, and the skill ceiling can only get higher. Like, we're only 2 days in to his release. People haven't figured shit out yet. This killer can only get stronger unless they do some changes. It's just, And that's another thing. I think the abundance of MFT and like really the only counterplay to this killer being MFT is going to hurt a lot of other killers. We've gotten to a point where there's a good chunk of killers that have like base kit beat or like base kit deep wounds, and I think it's going to hurt the killers that don't have mobility. You know, you think of like Deathslinger or Legion, where this much MFT going around is going to absolutely hurt the wrong people, or like the wrong people playing these characters. Like Deathslinger being a 110 killer still against MFT. How do you play against that? You get a cold wind and everybody runs to like tall hay bales that they can't shoot over, that you can't shoot over. Like how do you play against that? Damn, you got one hit and now you just yeah, it's just I forgot what else I was gonna say, but yeah, this killer is incredibly strong. His add-ons, like Scott John made a really good point that Bamboozle, like a while ago, he said that Bamboozle was going to be really strong. And then there's an add-on Centipede, I believe, that gives you 10 seconds to block a window. And I was thinking today, since he has such an easy time in injuring survivors, and his biggest weakness is windows, why not combine his Centipede add-on with Unbound from Unknown, the perk that like you forgot about. Essentially, after vaulting a window, you get 10% haste or 5% haste for 10 seconds, which I think is like you vault the window, it blocks, and then you have haste to catch up, and it's like it's a match made in heaven, and it's so yeah. Also, Umbrella, they changed from green to purple, which I think is a good idea. It is a really strong add-on, and I think being green would definitely kind of flood the market. Although we're gonna have Blood Moon events start on April 7th, so that's already gonna flood the market. But the mask, dude, I it's genuinely a top 10 add-on in the game. Like just hooking people, like regularly just hooking people and getting info on the entire team is absurdly broken. Like right now, I think I have the iridescent mask add-on as like my fifth best add-on in the game. I it's just I mean I'm telling you guys, this killer is like the nurse destroyer. It's like, yeah, nurse can go through walls. This guy can just swing around the wall and then end up behind you and hit you in 2 seconds, and then he can get across the map and get the freest hit of his life. And then he can do that again in like 8 seconds, and then he does that again and again. Oh, what's that? A pallet? I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna break it and catch up in 2 seconds. Oh, you have a med kit? Yeah, spend time healing. You're not doing gens, so that's gonna lead to more resilience. Like this killer is just going to force a sweatier meta. And like right now, I think like the whole W run to next palette. Like I absolutely despise Windows of Opportunity. I think it's such a brain dead perk, but like I don't know if this is the way that we can get rid of people using Windows of Opportunity. I just yeah. But I think that's about it. Um, Let me know what your thoughts about this killer are, and make sure to subscribe, like this video. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. This killer is he's pretty strong. He's pretty strong.